be conscious of what you're thinking, because the universe always says yes.
Every single thing you think has a chemical reaction in the body.
Once you've got that awareness, then you can do something about it.
Yeah, and
we have got Wendy Smith here today. And Wendy, I mean, your bio is just unbelievable. You're a speaker, you're a radio presenter, you're an author, you're a PTSD removal specialist, and the thing that has impressed all of my family more than anything, a Paralympian. Oh, just amazing. What a bio. That takes some living up to. I mean, one of the things I loved in your bio so much that really stood out for me was be conscious of what you're thinking, because the universe always says yes. And that is so, so important, isn't it?
I mean, massively. And, you know, on many different levels as well, depending on what your beliefs are about energy. And, you know, I love a bit of quantum physics, and we have this morphogenic field that every cell of our body has a morphogenic field, everything around us, and the whole non-local communication field is full of it as well. So whatever you're running through here is sending out, number one, direct signals out there for what you're looking for in life. Yeah. It's like a little radar, you know, as you say things in your head that you don't even notice are happening, they're having an effect on everything around you to make sure that stuff starts coming towards you to fulfill you, because your human system is built to support and love you. So any question you ask, anything you tell it, it goes, oh, okay, I'll make that happen. So an example would be, if you wake up feeling sad in the morning and you go, oh yeah, everything in my life is terrible, you know, oh, I'm so sad, no one loves me and all this, your unconscious literally goes, oh, we want to find that stuff today, do we? No worries, I'll delete all of the lovely stuff out of your environment, and I'll show you the tiny little dot of sadness everywhere. The music, the stuff on the TV, people's faces, you know. You'll see 500 people smiling, but you'll only remember the 2 that were really miserable, just because of what you're sending out. And then also on the other side of it, the deeper side for the internal connection is every single thing you think has a chemical reaction in the body.
Absolutely.
And it'll make you feel one or the other. You know, so you can create self-fulfilling prophecy loops of greatness or self-fulfilling prophecy loops of despair. And it's just based on what's running through this thing and whether you're paying attention to it or not. And that's pretty much what I work in, awareness, you know, in all different levels. Become aware of it if you want to own it and change it. You know, if you're not aware of it, how can you own it and change it?
Exactly. And animals are such a gift to us, aren't they, in terms of picking up our energy field and reflecting back truly where we're at. And I always say, I mean, you know, be like a cat. There's not one bit of Pumpkin that doesn't think he's amazing and can do anything.
Massively. I mean, I lost my little boy. I'm just going to have to show you a picture. It's right next to me. But he passed away from cancer a year ago, literally a couple of days ago. But that's him and his best mate, Daisy. He's the staffy. His name was Caesar. Oh. His little smiling face. And that was his best mate, a Bernese mountain dog. But he was my rock. I had him 13 and a half years, got him at 6 weeks old. And he would just, every state I was feeling, he would react to it and do something with it. He used to regulate my time on the laptop.
Yes.
I was doing too much work. He'd literally walk in and stand on me here. So his face would be in front of mine, and he would just keep nudging me in the face and kissing me until I shut the laptop.
This is what I like. I mean, I said to you this, didn't I, before we go on now? It's just is what I absolutely love is the fact about the animals is they really do regulate you and you get you back out to where you need to be and everything. So
massively.
Oh, it's just such a gift that we do have them in our lives, isn't it? It really is. How do you avoid being controlled by others?
Oh, well, long old process of unpicking the system. A lot of the stuff that we do obviously has been, like I say, ingrained and indoctrinated into us. So if you look at yourself like a computer system, or I say this is an easy way to look at yourself, like a phone, that when you're born, you're a blank iPhone. And then over the first 7 years of your life, everybody around you and everything around you downloads apps onto your iPhone, right? And then when you get to like 8, 9 years old, you open the phone, you go, oh, what apps have I got in here? And you start opening apps, but they're not yours, they're other people's.
Yeah.
So the first thing to start with is I just say to people, just have a look at life and just go, actually, my language patterns, where did they come from? What's successful and what's not within my language patterns? First of all, you know, the things you say, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, that's always a problem. You know, just start paying attention to your language and then just started noticing what is positive and what is not within that. And then where did that come from? Because it gives you an understanding. Oh, actually, yeah, one of my teachers always used to say to me at school, oh, you know, why are you so slow? You're always the last one to finish, and da 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 da. And it's like, wow, I've carried that saying all the way through my life now, and now I unconsciously limit myself with that. Do I want that app on my iPhone? No, I don't think so. So I'm going to work at removing that app first, and then have a look at like your energy management. You know, so all I mean by that is, what state are you creating? The right state throughout the day, or a right old state? So just start paying attention. Awareness is the key to all change. First of all, just pay attention to, what are my energy levels like throughout the day? Do I get up in the morning and the first thing I do, dive straight on my phone and do all the WhatsApps and, you know, everybody else's agenda first? How does that make me feel? Do I get up and put the TV on? How does that make me feel? You know, just start paying attention to life. And I can tell you what, this is the biggest challenge you'll ever have, because we run on autopilot.
Oh my God, yeah.
We have to have an autopilot system, otherwise we'd never function. And the thing is, you know, some of the things I give my clients to do, and I go, do it for 7 days, and then I'll check in on you and see where you are. And I go, how many times have you done that? They're like, I don't know, I didn't even think about it again when I left your house, Wendy. And I go, can you see how much autopilot programming you have now? And they're like, wow, yeah. Your brain will just go back into the old mode. So you really have to pay attention. So I just say to people, just be aware, make notes. How do I feel daily? You know, when I do this, what do I do? Do I use language like, you've made me really angry?
Yeah.
You've really hurt me. You know, because I say, an old saying from one of my trainers, if you can't put it in a wheelbarrow and push it, that means that you create it on your inside of yourself, because it doesn't exist. Hurt, anger, sadness, happiness, joy, motivation, determination, commitment, all of these things are things that come from the inside of you. Someone can't give them to you. And so I say to people, own the language. So this is a really, really powerful place to be in, when you get to that point where you can actually say, if you have a response to someone, it's your response, it's not them. They're just showing you who they are when they're talking to you. That's all they're doing. So if you feel yourself getting angry on the inside, verbalize it differently and own it. Go, this is how I would normally do it. I'd go, wow, that sentence you just said, on the inside of me now, I'm running like massive amounts of anger. What was the purpose behind you saying it? And they'll go, oh, no, it wasn't to get you angry. Do you know what I mean? So they get to own something, but even more so, you're owning that anger. And then you have a choice whether you give it out or not. But at least I've told someone that I'm running it. This stuff is mine and I'm feeling it on the inside now. What's your purpose behind that? You know, and then, but that makes you powerful. So then if you really needed to use the anger, you could use the anger. Yeah. But you do it through informed choice and ownership, not because it's like a reaction. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, completely.
Does that make sense?
It's fantastic. I'm laughing when you're saying this, because as a parent, there's no better mirrors back to all the cock-ups you've made. And when you see your children repeating, you're like, oh, that came from me. I have to own that one definitely came from me. So yeah, I'm laughing. Sorry, kids.
Now's the time to ask yourself, what do you really want? Not stuff, but this is the thing that people forget. Stuff will make you happy temporarily. That new car, that new house, that new whatever that is out there, shirt, trainers, whatever. You'll get a temporary hit of dopamine off of that. What do you want in here? Yeah. This is what life is about, driving towards what do you want in here? What daily feeling do you want to feel that really is going to fulfill you, so you feel like you're having a good life? You know, so forget all the stuff and start focusing on, what do I want in here? Go for the old feelings. And then you'll notice that better things just naturally wander into your life when you focus on how you want to feel.
Such good advice. And I think also, just for people that you said it quite a few times in this interview, you know, it's not meant to be an instant job. You don't sit down to watch a great movie or to read a brilliant book and want the ending on page 1. We're meant to enjoy the journey, aren't we?
Yeah, that is the whole point. I always say to people, you know, the old adage of you can't eat an elephant in one go. I never advocate eating elephants, because I love them. It's just a good visual in your head. If you can imagine, you've got this whole thing of life, you know, and you want it all now. You try and stuff that elephant in your mouth, you're just going to choke. So we just take a foot off. and we deal with the foot first, whatever that may be, you know, whether it's looking at, like I said, with the awareness, become aware of what goes on in your human system. The language, so you've said the I can't word 3 times today. You go, right, that's the foot I'm going to deal with for the next 7 days. I'm going to look at that word I can't, and every time I hear myself say it, I'm going to go, wow, that's interesting, I've said that again. How can I change it to a positive? What can I do? And that's all you do, 7 days of that. You know, really focus in on that one thing and make that become your new program. And as soon as the I can becomes your new program, you go, what's next on my list? Oh, I use the word don't a lot. Right. So instead of saying what I don't want, I'm going to say what I want for the next 7 days. You know, and that one's the most challenging one for anybody listening now. You know, when you go away from here, notice how many times you say to people what you don't want in life. When clients come to see me, I go, wonderful, you've told me what you don't want 10 times. What do you want? And they'll go, yeah, well, I don't want this to fail. I go, I know what you don't want. Tell me what you want. And to get out actually what you want and verbalize it is a real challenge. But once you do that, your whole language changes. Then your neurochemistry changes with the language. Your body feels better. You get more internal motivation. So, you know.
And again, anyone who's got toddlers or animals that they share their life with, we know when we sit back and look at this, you know, don't ever tell an animal what you don't want to do. The universe, other lives, they're picking up the energy of what you're saying. So just like you started off the conversation with Wendy, if you're saying, you know, putting out there what you don't want, that's what the universe thinks, oh, that's what get back. And you never say to a toddler, don't look in that cupboard. And you never say to your dog, don't do that. You tell them what they do want. And immediately they pick up that energy. And that's what the universe is doing to us all the time. I'm laughing at myself because I know this, but for me, it's still a daily work in progress always. But at least I recognize it now when I'm doing it. So that's always the first step, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen some funny things with kids. One in particular, a friend of mine, her granddaughter stood at the top of the stairs holding some shoes. Now, my friend knows this about language as well. And she went, don't you dare throw those shoes down the stairs. And you could see this child, she's only about 4, go, don't you dare. She went like that. She just went, like this and threw them because the don't word doesn't compute.
Doesn't compute.
So you just do what you think someone wants anyway. You know, we know this with neuro training. Don't think about a pink elephant.
Yeah.
Don't think about a blue ball. Don't imagine, this is when you can use it actually, don't imagine being really happy and abundant right now. You know, so that's when I would sneakily use a don't, when I want someone to imagine something really good.
Yeah.
But language is power. That's why they call it spelling, because it's a spelling.
And I was just listening just before we came on to a brilliant latest one by Max Egan, and there's just so much on that. When you realize these things and you get those little aha moments, then it just takes you on to the next step really quickly, doesn't it? It's fun with this as well, isn't it, Wendy? It's really good fun when you realize what's been programming you. You've said all the way through this, once you've got that awareness, then you can do something about it.